So first of all, I need to recognize that my understanding of truth, while it's true so far as it goes, is limited, which means I can also then recognize the truth that another person has. It will be true so far as it goes, but it will be limited too. That then gives me, or gives us, the freedom to say, okay, well, let's come into communion with one another so we can understand more deeply what is true. And I think that begins a process. It starts off, there's this kind of, it's not a setting aside in the sense of saying I don't believe what I think, because I do, but being able to put it to one side so I can listen deeply to the other. I think that's a first move. But the other thing, which is what I call surprise, which I've had the joy of experiencing many times now, is that as the conversation develops, the understanding of the two develops more. And very often what comes out is not exactly what either party thought of. Or if it is what one party thought of, it is now understood in a different way because now enriched by the other. But what's really going on there, I think, is that in that deep communion, we're actually communing in Christ, because what's required is deep love for one another. And Jesus promises that where two or more are met together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. And it's that love that's sort of the true active ingredient. That doesn't mean that you mustn't try and think clearly and well and all of those sorts of things. But it does mean that there's a priority given to that, so like that spiritual dimension, because it's that then allows the presence of Christ to be there, and he begins to enlighten our minds. So he is, as it were, the author of the surprise. And setting aside or setting so that we can listen to the other deeply is a way of opening ourselves up to Christ in love, in that openness to one another, actually to Christ and the other. So that means we have a way of accessing the truth, who is a person. And it doesn't deny rationality or even imagination or any of these wonderful things that are part of our capacities, but it does enliven them and give them a sort of new depth, I think, and puts them in a completely different context. And it seems to me that is that allowing Christ to speak among us. That's the kind of, as it were, the $64,000 question among Christians.